Unbelievable. 3 decades-old cold cases finally solved in 2025. Imagine a crime so baffling it haunts detectives for decades, with clues that lead nowhere until now. In 2025, 3 chilling cold cases, each over 30 years old, have finally been cracked wide open, thanks to groundbreaking technology and relentless determination. Stay with us as we unravel these mysteries that shock the world. Cold cases are the ghosts of the justice system, crimes left unsolved, families left in limbo, and perpetrators walking free. For decades, these 3 cases stumped investigators, becoming legends in their own right. But in 2025, advancements in DNA technology, AI-driven analysis, and old-fashioned detective work converged to deliver justice. Today, we dive into the forgotten victim, the ghost in the machine, and the perfect getaway. 3 stories of tragedy, persistence, and triumph. Case 1. The forgotten victim. Unbelievable. 3 decades-old cold cases finally solved in 2025. Opening hook 0 o'clock to 0:30. Imagine a crime so baffling it haunts detectives for decades, with clues that lead nowhere until now. In 2025, 3 chilling cold cases, each over 30 years old, have finally been cracked wide open, thanks to groundbreaking technology and relentless determination. Stay with us as we unravel these mysteries that shock the world. Introduction and premise. 0:30 to 1:30. Cold cases are the ghosts of the justice system, crimes left unsolved, families left in limbo, and perpetrators walking free. For decades, these 3 cases stumped investigators, becoming legends in their own right. But in 2025, advancements in DNA technology, AI-driven analysis, and old-fashioned detective work converged to deliver justice. Today, we dive into the forgotten victim, the ghost in the machine, and the perfect getaway. 3 stories of tragedy, persistence, and triumph. Case 1. The forgotten victim. 1:30 to 5:30. Subhook for Case 1. A young woman vanished in 1992, her case barely making headlines. For 33 years, she was the forgotten victim, until a single strand of hair changed everything. Background of the crime. In the summer of 1992, 22-year-old Sarah Miller disappeared after leaving a diner in a small Ohio town. Her car was found abandoned on a rural road, with no signs of struggle. The case drew little attention, overshadowed by bigger stories, and leads dried up quickly. Police suspected foul play but had no body, no witnesses, and no suspects. The long stalemate for decades. Sarah's family pushed for answers, but the case went cold. Evidence was limited to her car and a few personal items, none yielding clues. Detectives revisited the case sporadically, but without new technology or leads. It seemed destined to remain unsolved.
The breakthrough to 025. In early 2025, a new forensic tool, advanced genetic genealogy, combined with AI pattern recognition, re-examined a single hair found in Sarah's car. The hair, previously dismissed as inconclusive, was matched to a distant relative in a public DNA database. This led investigators to Mark Hensley, a local handyman in 1992 who had no prior criminal record. Under interrogation, Hensley confessed to abducting and murdering Sarah, revealing her remains' location in a nearby forest. Resolution and impact. Sarah's family finally laid her to rest, finding closure after 33 years. Hensley, now 67, was sentenced to life in prison. The case highlighted the power of genetic genealogy, prompting Ohio to fund cold case units statewide. Case 2. The Ghost in the Machine. A 1988 bank heist left no trace except a cryptic computer virus. Dubbed the Ghost in the Machine, the thief vanished for decades, until 2025 when the past came back online. Background of the crime. In 1988, a small bank in Seattle was robbed of $1.2 million in a sophisticated heist. The thief hacked the bank's early computer system, planting a virus that erased security logs. No fingerprints, no witnesses, just a digital ghost. The FBI called it one of the first cyber crimes, but the trail went cold. The decades of doubt. Investigators suspected an inside job but lacked evidence. The virus was primitive by today's standards, but in 1988, it was revolutionary. Leads pointed to a tech-savvy loaner, but without a name or motive, the case stalled. The stolen money was never recovered. The breakthrough to 025. In 2025, an AI-driven cybersecurity firm analyzing historical malware identified unique code in the 1988 virus linked to a now-retired programmer, Daniel Voss. Detectives reopened the case, tracing Voss's financial records. A series of unexplained cash deposits in 1989 tied him to the heist. Confronted with the evidence, Voss, now 62, admitted to the crime, revealing he'd spent the money years ago. Resolution and impact, Voss was convicted of theft and sentenced to 7 years. The case spurred renewed interest in cybercrime's early history, with tech firms now using AI to revisit unsolved digital crimes. The bank's descendants received a formal apology from the FBI for the case's long dormancy. Case 3. The perfect getaway. In 1990, a wealthy businessman vanished during a yacht trip, presumed drowned. His wife's perfect alibi held for 35 years until a hidden camera exposed the perfect getaway. Background of the crime: Thomas Bradley, a 45-year-old tycoon, disappeared off his yacht near the Florida Keys in 1990. His wife, Elaine, claimed he fell overboard during a storm. Nobody was found, but insurance paid out $5 million. Suspicions of foul play arose, but Elaine's alibi backed by two crew members was airtight. The elusive perpetrator. Elaine lived lavishly post-disappearance, raising red flags. Yet, with no body or evidence, police couldn't charge her. The crew members stuck to their story, and the case faded into obscurity, a textbook perfect crime. The breakthrough to 0-5. In 2025, a retired detective revisiting the case on a podcast uncovered a forgotten yacht security tape misfiled in evidence. Enhanced using modern AI imaging, the tape showed Elaine and a crew member pushing Thomas overboard. The second crew member, now deceased, had been bribed. Elaine, now 70, was arrested after the tape surfaced. Resolution and impact, Elaine was convicted of murder and sentenced to 20 years. The case led to a review of misfiled evidence in Florida's cold case archives, with new protocols for digital preservation. Thomas's children used the case's publicity to advocate for justice reform. Thematic discussion: why now? Why did these cases break open in 2025? The answer lies in a perfect storm of innovation, genetic genealogy, AI-driven forensics, and renewed public interest via true crime media. These tools didn't exist decades ago, but their convergence has revolutionized cold case investigations. Moreover, persistent families and dedicated detectives kept these cases alive, proving human resolve is as vital as technology. This wave of resolutions raises hope for thousands of other unsolved cases, but also questions: are we prioritizing the right cases? And what happens when the tech outpaces our ethics? The forgotten victim, the ghost in the machine, and the perfect getaway remind us that justice, though delayed, can prevail. These breakthroughs in 2025 show what's possible when technology and tenacity collide. But countless cases still linger in the shadows. Support cold case initiatives, share these stories, and demand funding for forensic advancements. Together, we can bring closure to more families. Subscribe for more stories of justice, and let's keep the fight alive.